Hey everyone, welcome to Alice and Bob. Today we talk about the Kusama Parachain Slot Auctions number 6 to 10. We are going to talk about the hottest candidates. Yes, it is August 2021, and so we have completed Parachains Slot Auctions number 1 to 5, and you will get a short update on where we are right now. We will be talking a little bit about the shrinking KSM supply and what it means for the price. And of course, the main topic for today is the hottest candidates for the Parachain slots 6 to 10. This video should be informative for you and tell you something new that you don't already know. So the time markers are your friend. You see the time markers at the bottom of the video. And they give you links directly to each segment and should provide you a fast access to the content that you're most interested in. So let's jump in. We are seeing 6 parachains that are currently live on the Kusama network. This is State Mine, of course, the common good parachain, where tokens can be minted and used across the whole network. And then we have the 5 networks that were auctioned off in the Parachain Slot Auctions: Karura, Bifrost, Khala, Shiden, and Moonriver. Not in the order of the auction. Yes, and if you're interested in learning more about the networks and what they basically do, I can suggest to you the playlist from our good friend Jay Chirana. And he did a slot election reflection on all of the videos. And you can look into it. What's new for Karura? I thought I'd take a short look at the price with you today. So at the moment, one car is 0.03618 KSM. Yes, the bootstrapping of KAR KSM has completed, and the price has been moving between 0.02, 0.021 and 0.039. That's the range we're trading. And most people I talk with expect the price to even rise more once more and more features of Karura are enabled, because as of now, just the swap of KAR KSM is enabled, and of course we are expecting more features soon. If we look at the price of KAR against the US dollar, it started trading around $3 to $5, then it has stabilized around $4 for some days, and recently started jumping. This is the hour chart you're seeing, but we rose up to $6, 6.4, and then recently up to $8.5. Yes, but of course we don't have that many trading days yet. If we just look at the daily chart, we see that we just have a few days of trading. So of course we will need to get a more data. What is next for Karura? We are seeing that with the next referendum, number 3, we will see KSM as transaction fees. So not only KAR are transaction fees, but if you want to pay in KSM, it's directly traded for you via the swap and will be used as transaction fees, which is good for everyone being invested in the KSM, in the KAR KSM liquidity pool. Then we will see a light version of KUSD, so the stable coin, which includes collateralizing it and then lending KUSD and using them. It will be incentivized, and which is what is very interesting, the NFT module. So a lot to see here on Karura. I will put a link in the description about the roadmap from Karura, and you can always claim the progress that they're having when they are updating their roadmap. It's similar for Moonriver, our Solidity smart contract chain, the EVM compatible chain. They have their own roadmap. It's on their website. And so they have a detailed table with everything they are going to do. And they are giving you the date once it's completed with a link to the announcement. So currently we are in the governance phase. We already have delegated proof of stake enabled. And so soon they will, once governance is enabled, they will remove sudo, and at the end they will enable balance transfers. And this is the moment when trading will be able to start. And of course, the network will launch and we will see all the wonderful features. And of course, we're very interested to see what is going to launch on Moonriver, which decentralized apps and so on. So Shiden number 3, the multi-chain dApp Cup of Kusama. So this is similar to Moonriver, but it does not only allow for EVMs, so Solidity smart contracts, but also WebAssembly. And of course, they have different partners with which they're working with. So we can expect to see a lot of different things happening for those two chains. And some news, the SDN token has been deployed a few days ago. So if you want to see it in your wallet, it should be already there. Also, Shiden has a roadmap on Notion.so, and you can see all the steps happening, what they are doing. Yes, Khala and Khala Network. Confidential cloud compute. They also started. We're not really seeing a roadmap for them, so you have to follow the Twitter. But what is interesting for the Khala and Khala network, we can see a current token price, and the current token price for the FA token, which is basically the same as the Khala KAR network token, currently trades at around 80 cents. Yes, and then Bifrost. They're basically a liquidity mining, a liquidity staking protocol. So you can give them KSM tokens or maybe later DOT tokens, and they will stake them and give you a derivative instead, the liquid staking token. And they also plan other features. There is not a roadmap. There is an app live, but it does not have any features, so it doesn't make too much sense for me. But they are live. And they're also having a short debrief. And if you want to follow their news, I also suggest the Twitter channel. Okay, so this wraps up the 5 networks that we're currently having. And I will provide to you this sheet because it has been asked a lot of times. It is a sheet where you can see all the networks that we're having, all the parachains. With the value of KSM bound and a lot of information that I gathered. For example, the break-even price at which you are profitable against staking. So this is the target price that every network has to surpass to be considered a success, and only then they will have a real chance on the Polkadot network. This works against the current price of today, which is $200 US. And so you can see, for example, the Karura price here, the break-even price against staking would be $1.4 today. And we trade at around $7.5, so we're clearly over that value. Similar, we have a value for Khala Network, $0.8, and the price here would be $0.2, so roughly 4 times over each of the prices, maybe a bit more here. Yes, and I also provide for you this chart of the previous slot elections and how many KSM were bound in the slot elections. And what you can see is that for the last 3 slot auctions, we had roughly 130 and a bit thousand KSM that were bound. So it's going to be interesting to see how this moves on with the upcoming Parachain Slot Auctions and how the curve will develop here. Will it be going down, or will we see this price of 130,000 KSM stabilize? We have seen that the last contender of Bifrost network, Basilisk, also wasn't too close. I don't really remember, but I can imagine that as more KSM become available to people, we will see a lot of competition here still. But it's going to be interesting to see. Okay, so what do we have here? I made a list of all the networks that likely will be making some noise to get a slot, and we will take a look. A new entrance that we're going to see, Kilt, has announced that they start to run. And we also have Calamari Network here. And now you might be wondering, what is the order that I chose here? I chose the order from a short question that I asked on Twitter. Which 5 parachains are going to win the next 5 slot auctions? And you gave a lot of answers. And I will put a link in the description. But a lot of you were saying Kilt is going to be early, Basilisk is going to be early, Robonomics and Altair. These were the 4 parachains that many of you mentioned, so there could be a chance that they will have a slot. And then other ones that you mentioned were Genshiro, I think Polkasmith, Calamari, but I'm not sure. All of these have a chance, of course, because it not only depends on you, but on all of the actors on the market. So let's take a short look at this. But before we do, let's take another second to look at the KSM supply. And of course, Fabs is always providing an update. And what he's showing us is that we have 4.36 million KSM circulating supply from about 11 point something million. So this is a really KSM supply squeeze, because you have just seen that we currently use over 100,000 KSM per parachain slot. So this would be roughly like 43 parachain slots at that price. Of course, we can expect the price to sink, but you see that we're really taking a lot of KSM out of supply, and this could affect the price quite considerably. So we will have to see what this changes. If we take a look at the KSM USD chart, this is daily. So the KSM USD followed the price of Bitcoin in the way that it rose and then it dropped. But we are seeing that it's now stopped sinking, and it looks like it's constantly rising again. And if we continue to take out liquidity of the market, and then we have the DEXs going on and the liquidity mining and so on and so on and so on, just so many ways where you can spend your KSM, we can expect the price to rise significantly in the upcoming weeks. This is my personal impression. Okay, so now let's move on to the protocols and what they are actually promising, so that you have a rough idea. Of course, you have a short description here, but we will go through them now. So we have Kilt, and the interesting thing for Kilt is it provides credentials for Web3. So a lot of people are talking about this on Twitter. Many are hyped about this because it allows you to have a network of decentralized identity management. For example, on many systems, the login button, like login with Twitter, login with Facebook, or login with Google. There could be something like login with Kilt, but just with the difference that you're not giving away your data to another company, but have it decentralized on the blockchain. So this is very interesting. And they have their Parachain strategy published, but they did not publish all of the details. For example, I couldn't find all of the information on the top tokenomics yet. Maybe I didn't do the search properly, I don't know, but I didn't find all of the relevant information, and I expect that they will publish more of that soon. There is an interesting thread that I recently saw, which is just 5 articles that describe Kilt from different perspectives. I will also put a link because it gives you a few primers on actually what Kilt is. Okay, then we have Basilisk, the highest contender at the end of the slots 1 to 5. So it's quite possible that they will catch slot number 6. And they're a liquidity protocol. So one of the main ideas is that you can bootstrap liquidity there. Another interesting thing is that it's not the canary network of HydraDX, in the sense that they are different products. So the core idea of Basilisk is mainly to provide a liquidity bootstrapping protocol, as far as I understand. And of course, they have the best memes and a very nice crowd loaning interface that you should take a look at once the crowd loans start. So then we are going to Robonomics, also an interesting website, and it's really another beautiful, interesting project. They want to provide serverless infrastructure for the Internet of Things. So, for example, rent a robot, rent a drone, or just a lot of ideas. It's really too complicated to get in a few sentences. But at first, I wasn't so fond of the project because it was just too complicated for me. But the more I read about it, the more interested I am. So I can suggest to you that just try to read into it. Also, a very good community member, Limo, with the YouTube channel Crypto Elementary, has created a Robonomics video and will do another video that is in preparation. So I can suggest to subscribe to the channel and just wait for what happens on Robonomics if you're interested, of course. So then we have Altair. And they are providing tokenized real-world assets. Another very interesting project. And then, of course, we have Genshiro, another DeFi one-stop shop. And with very interesting marketing, of course. And they are promising a few more things that Karura hasn't talked too much about yet. For example, margin trading perpetuals for those that are interested in such things. And also interesting bailouts from loans that are about to be liquidated. So will be another interesting addition to the DeFi market, and of course will also increase the competition between the networks, but also of course the collaboration, because that's one of the most interesting aspects of Kusama and Polkadot, that in some aspects the networks are competitors, in other aspects they are always collaborators, and it's always interesting to see what is going to happen. Then we have Darwinia Network, which is basically a bridge between different networks. So for example, they want to bridge Ethereum, Tron, and of course Polkadot, Kusama. So they're also an interesting addition for providing connection with two other networks. And then we have Crust Network, which offers a decentralized cloud. So it has some similarities to Khala networks, but of course also major differences. So also to keep an eye on, very interesting. Then there is Polkasmith by Polka Foundry, which is a project I'm personally not so fond about. Getting mixed signals here that I can't really read. For example, so what they're saying is they want one-stop production hub for DeFi and NFT applications on Polkadot. But the weird thing is they have this launchpad where they are launching different projects, and none of these projects actually has anything to do so far with the community that I'm in contact with. They are offering different products that I haven't seen, and they're offering them on Binance. So they're more interested in launching tokens on Binance than really interacting with the community that I've seen. If someone wants to convince me of the opposite, please reach out to me. But yeah, it's not a project that I'm too interested in. Project that I'm interested in is Calamari Network, and they also have recently announced that they are going to run, and what they want to provide is on-chain privacy for Kusama. So they are the canary network of Manta Network. You may have heard of Manta Network, but Calamari was just recently announced, so not too many have heard of the name Calamari Network. And so what they are doing is set keys, snarks. If you're not a too technical person, you might not have heard about ZK snarks, but what they basically do is provide privacy. So if you are interacting with the Kusama and the other networks right now, what you not having is anonymity, but you're having pseudonymity, in the sense that you're always having a wallet address and it's known what's happening between all of the wallets. and what CK snarks enable is a different way where it's not really possible to track all of these transactions. So it's a privacy network, and I think it's a very interesting addition that we could make sense of. So these were all of the networks here that we could talk about. Now the basic question is, when will we be getting the next Parachain auctions? And the only real substantial piece of information that I found was on Riot on the Kusama Direction channel. And what we see here, can I make this bigger? Yes. What we see here is that Ralph Habermeyer was commenting and was telling us they are rolling out a new database in a client update. And so this will change some of the parameters of how the network is acting. And so what they want to do is they want to monitor the network performance after rolling out this update. And it seems like they want to make sure that it is not disrupting the network. And only if it is working correctly on the network and everything is working fine, then they want to start to roll out the next 5 Parachain auctions. Parachains. But what's also a possibility is they found out that the update is not working as they want to have it, and then they want to focus on some optimizations first. What we heard is that the whole team, all of the developers for Substrate and Polkadot Kusama are having a retreat this week, and so I guess they will be having very important talks about how everything will move on. And so we should get some details during the week or at the end of the week, but that's only from what I heard. It could be different. One possibility is that they are saying everything is fine, we can start next week. Another possibility is that they say we need to tweak more things and it could take a month or 2. We don't know. We're going to see. Another question that's often asked is, what about Polkadot? When will we see the first slot auction on Polkadot? And I couldn't find the link now, but what I've read is that they want to finish the audit for the source code. So it depends on if all of the code that they want to audit is already frozen or if there's still code that is moving, because if there are still moving parts, they can't be audited. So all of this is not very clear and we're not getting too much communication on this, which is a little bit sad. But maybe we will hear more at the end of the retreat from the development team. So my question to you is, what do you think? Which will be the upcoming winners of the Parachain slot auctions? Maybe I did miss some network, which is possible. And from the networks that I presented and that you're a fan of, which do you think will be the winners? You can also get in contact with me on Twitter. And of course, if you like the content and you want to support the network and earn interest on your KSM, you can nominate us because we are a validator on the Kusama network. So this means we help securing the network and you can earn interest on your KSM by staking with our node. This can give you between 13 and 18% staking rewards per year. And so if you want to know more, you can read this article, which I'm also going to link in the description. I hope you learned a lot in this video today. We're going to see each other in the future. Please drop me your comments, stay safe, and goodbye, everyone.